Good morning. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is Julianne Wallace, and I'm the Vice President for Mission and Ministry at Alvernia University. We'd like to begin today's press conference with a mission moment. A mission moment is an Alvernia tradition that calls us to contemplate our deeper purpose at Alvernia, challenges our students to reflect and recognize their values-based education. The month of September in the Catholic Church is traditionally known as the season of creation. This year, as we celebrated the 50th anniversary of Earth Day and the 5th anniversary of Laudato Si', Pope Francis called a special season of creation for the month of September. During this month, we have been rebuilding and renewing, as well as creating, leading up to the Feast of St. Francis, which we will celebrate on Sunday. This week in Assisi, Pope Francis will release a new encyclical entitled Fratelli Tutti, or Brothers All. This is a document on human fraternity that at its core reminds us that we are all created with dignity, and we are all called to honor that human dignity and our brothers and sisters surrounding us. It is no small thing that just a few days before we, as Franciscans, celebrate our High Holy Feast days, we come here to celebrate our own renewal and creation. As we look toward our move downtown, to growing new academic programming, and to being a part of the revitalization of Reading, we hope to carry this spirit of Fratelli Tutti with us into the city. Today, we are brothers and sisters all in Reading, and Alvernia will continue to respond to our common call to rebuild and renew. I would now like to introduce the president of the university, John Boyack.
Good morning. Julianne did a good job. I know that because the sun is breaking through the clouds. So this is a great day for Alvernia University. I actually have pictures. So you'll remember the old CollegeTowne logo. That's where we started with you last December, actually in John Weidenhammer's building, where we gave a little speech about this being the likely place where we would come together to create CollegeTowne. Beautiful facility, 260,000 square feet standing around us, that will fill with all kinds of things that will help bring Reading back to life. So with that, that's what the building will actually look like once we start construction, which we hope to do sometime in December as we work our way through the final grant processes and finish plans. In fact, our Board of Trustees just saw what the final plans for 401 Penn Street would look like last week at our Board of Trustees. And of course, we're here today to talk about engineering because it is our most recent set of programs and really what CollegeTowne will be built around. It will be built around engineering and our business incubator and the impacts that that will have on downtown Reading. And I think at this stage, these will rotate. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, so we're good. So again, almost 9 months to the day, we were at John Weidenhammer's building announcing that this is where we were going to wind up. And here we are. We talked about a lot of things that we envisioned for CollegeTowne, something called the Alvernia Advantage, community partnerships, Reading College, a little thing called Reading CollegeTowne, right, that is now off and running. We recalled how CollegeTowne was an expansion of our mission to serve the underserved through education and economic opportunity, and how we were bringing that downtown, and that was a connection to the sisters who started in downtown Reading 125 years ago. We talked about buying this building and business incubators and international students and esports and new engineering programs that we're here to kick off today, and so much more. So here we are on September 28th, not December something or another. And where are we in making those dreams come true? The Alvernia Advantage and its student-centric approach is in full action. In fact, we had our biggest class in the history of the university this year. Reading CollegeTowne is in full swing at a scale and breadth no one could have imagined. We own this 260,000 square feet facility on 401 Penn, and we are now heavily engaged in changing lives in downtown Reading in ways no one could have dreamed of 9 months ago. Our student-centered business incubator, which Rodney will talk about a little later, has now 31 active community businesses incubating in a process that will take those businesses from idea to product to funding to early stage operation and to job creation in a network of partners that is just frankly too long to list. We started that 6 months ago. We had our first large international class in freshman history, and we are now partnering on a second project in downtown Reading to provide housing for international students here in the city. We not only added esports at 401 Penn, but also women's wrestling and D3 men's hockey, and we're in the best financial health the university has been in a decade. This is Reading CollegeTowne. This is what it's all about. Today we announce our new electrical, mechanical, and industrial engineering programs that will be the centerpiece of 401 Penn Street. These programs will offer experiences that rival much larger institutions because of a little thing called partnerships. We will be partnering with some of the largest businesses in the region to provide and share labs, to work on projects together. We have something called Project 6, where we'll be working with many of these businesses, so that every Alvernia engineer will finish their program with a cooperative research project with companies like First Energy, East Penn, UGI, Brentwood, Custom Processing, Enersys, Mitsubishi, Spot Stevens, the Reading Science Center, and so much more. A truly applied learning experience where we create fundamentally sound engineers that are application ready to solve today's business problems. So with that, I would like to thank so many, because CollegeTowne is really what we call togetherness. We would not be in this building if not for the support of the mayor and the administration, city council, the downtown improvement district, the county commissioners, and so many others. These programs that are now in action and not just on the drawing board or being envisioned are there because of the same group and all of our community partners that brought it to life. This is Reading College. So with that, I'd like to introduce Glynis Fitzgerald, our provost, to make a few comments.
Thanks so much, President Loya. From mechanical, electrical, industrial engineering to business and communication, Alvernia's talented faculty will use this facility to train students in careers that will define our future. With the redesign of this building, the students who come to Alvernia will be welcomed to a space where they'll not only discover new ideas, but learn to communicate and transform those ideas into action and new businesses. Through their education, they too will be transformed, backed by our university's liberal arts tradition of rigorous, open inquiry into the enduring questions that shape the human experience. Students are introduced to the values upon which intellectual inquiry is based and the expectations begun by our foundresses, the Bernardine Franciscan Sisters. Members of our university community will become ethical leaders with moral courage. The engineering program's curriculum strength lies in the way it was built. We're so lucky to have worked with so many in our local engineering and business community to understand what is needed here in Reading and Berks County and beyond. We partnered with engineering academic leaders from other universities and engineering professionals to build these new programs unencumbered by existing structures. These engineering tracks are designed to meet regional and national demand, as well as reach national accreditation standards. Our students will be solving real-world problems during each of their 4 years, as faculty will partner with local engineering leaders to create unique, hands-on, and semester-long application projects as part of their course outcomes. And we'll be hiring faculty members that complement local industries, including battery manufacturing, plastics, and processing. This innovative academic and experiential learning will prepare fundamentally sound and application-ready students who will make a real impact on the future of Reading and be highly sought after in the marketplace upon graduation. 401 Penn Street will also become our new home for business and communication. We're working with our outstanding faculty to provide innovative learning spaces, including a trading floor, a state-of-the-art media studio, space for podcasting, our student newspaper and magazine, esports, and so much more. The projects we pursue today will allow us to provide an unparalleled experience for the next generation of Alvernia students. With the addition of new engineering programs and the additions made to business and communication, the future is very bright. Enrollment is now open for the fall 2021 semester. And now I'm excited to turn it over to Dr. Rodney Ridley to discuss the updates with the Opaque Institute for Economic Development and the unique experiential learning opportunities for all our students through our student-powered business incubator. Dr. Ridley.
Wow, what an exciting time. I can't believe it was just 15 short but long COVID months ago that we set out on this journey to bring to life what you all know now as CollegeTowne. Obviously a big piece of that is the engineering program, and we're so proud of the partnerships and things that have already been mentioned that help to bring a program like this to life. There is no way you build an engineering program at a university this size unless the community, both internal to the university and external to the university, comes together in a real, meaningful way to bring it to life. And I just want to thank everybody who had a part in that and helped us to do that, because that took us in a record 8 months to get done, and so we're proud of that. A big part of that, as I said, is the partnerships, and partnerships don't really mean anything unless both sides get something out of the partnerships. And in this particular case, our industry leaders get access to some of our best students, our best and brightest students who will be engineering students and others. And we, especially our engineering students, will get to participate in some of the world's most advanced labs. And I know that John is very happy that we won't be charged for that. So our industry partners are actually going to give us access to a lot of their labs. And we work closely with the board to identify those three programs, the industrial, electrical, and mechanical engineering. But part of that wasn't just our advisory board. Part of selecting those three programs was the fact that we needed that same kind of talent in our Opaque Center, in our business incubator. And pretty soon we're hoping to announce that we're not just going to have one incubator here in this building, but we are working on an incubator network within the region, and we'll bring you more about that later. But that's coming. And that's all a part of a goal to get our Alvernia students what we call a distinct learning opportunity, which is a student experiential learning. We want to put our best and brightest in positions early in their academic years that they would usually have to wait later in their careers to get to. And we're doing that with the help of partnerships. And that includes highly skilled engineers, business students, students that are in all kinds of majors, and we're looking forward to that. All in an effort to build a new downtown Reading and a greater Berks County to be better at and more economically developed. As I said, you can't do this without partners. So I want to bring on one of our most distinguished partners. Now, I'm honored to turn the podium over to one of our members of our industry program advisory committee, and he's an Alvernia trustee, and he's the president and CEO of Brentwood Industry. I want to bring up Mr. Peter Rod. Peter?
Thank you, Rodney. I am Peter Rod, President and CEO of Brentwood Industries. Now, Brentwood is a family business that's a little over 50 years old, headquartered in our community here. We operate a number of facilities worldwide, across the United States and some international sites. We have 2 manufacturing sites here in Reading, and this is sort of the home of what I call the brain trust, people who really move the needle on advancing the company, products, process development, all of the centralized functions of accounting and so forth. But Brentwood is led by 3 generations of engineers. My father, myself, my daughter, and son-in-law were deeply involved in the business. And so we do appreciate the value that the engineering education brings to running a business. We've grown it significantly in those 50 years. And that doesn't mean that accountants and communication majors and marketing and all of these other disciplines aren't important. But there are often just difficult problems to solve in the technical nature, whether you're developing products or whether you're creating manufacturing efficiencies and automation. You can teach an engineer accounting, but you can't teach an accountant engineering. And so for Alvernia now to launch this program here in the community is really significant. Furthermore, I live in the city of Reading. As I said, 2 of our manufacturing sites are within the city limits. This is really an extraordinary thing for me personally to see the revitalization of Reading virtually beginning here today as we stand here talking about engineering in CollegeTowne in downtown Reading with a fantastic mayor and a supportive county commissioners. This is just an extraordinary point in time in my life here in Berks County. So, furthermore, the concept of the engineering program here at Alvernia, I think, is very interesting. It certainly serves my needs very well, and that is that we need engineering talent. We struggle to attract engineering talent, especially at the entry level, into our community. And we're not here locally graduating enough engineers to fulfill the demand. So this is an extremely important development for our company, that we can continue to grow and prosper in this community. And the concept of the program, integrating with businesses so that we can provide experiential learning opportunities for the students of Alvernia that are enrolled in engineering. As John said, Rodney said, that we have leading edge companies here in our community that have leading edge laboratories and leading edge engineers and scientists developing products who are also in need of talent and are willing to share their facilities and their staff, their expertise to help create that meaningful experience for students, to help the program launch for Alvernia, and ultimately and selfishly to help populate the entry-level positions within our companies. Something, again, that we've been struggling to do. So, for me personally, this is just an extraordinary point in time that the intersection of engineering and Alvernia and downtown are occurring together at this point in time. So, thank you. So I'd like to introduce Mayor Eddie Moran to the podium. Welcome, Ed.
Good morning. Buenos dias. What an honor, what a privilege to be here with you all this morning for such an excitement time in our city. We definitely cannot talk about economic redevelopment without education in the same sentence, to say the least. I say that because we have a vision and a plan called the Downtown Plus Strategic Plan. It fills me with great enthusiasm that CollegeTowne and Alvernia's new engineering program will add tremendous value to our city. Alvernia's newly launched operating model matches our plan impeccably, and it's confirmation that we are headed in the right direction, to say the least. Alvernia's presence in downtown is such a natural extension of the goodwill they've created through other community programs that I have witnessed in my previous role as a school board member. We could talk about the South Reading Youth Initiative, the Oak Brook Community Programs, projects at the Millmont and Tyson Shaner Elementary School and the Reading Collegiate Scholarship Program, which, by the way, is a program that my very own son, Tyler Moran, is a part of, as he is a student at Alvernia. Many of you know that I have shared in the past the fact that when I decided to run for mayor of the city of Reading, it was done so when my son had started to contemplate a post-secondary education. And it concerned me that, like many other families prior to mine, we had children that obtained a post-secondary education outside and we didn't see them come back. So I was concerned, to say the least, that my son would pursue the college career outside. And I felt that I needed to do something. Therefore, I would do everything I possibly can to embrace the brain growth as we want our children to stay here locally. We want the talent, again, to remain here, and this is just another example of making sure that we expand that. And that is only possible by creating partnerships, opportunities, and collaboration between businesses, government, and educational facilities such as Alvernia. I look forward to partnering with Alvernia and other community organizations to help jumpstart the Reading economy following the COVID-19, and to seeing the most competent engineers thrive and succeeding here in our city and the world. So with that said, I now would like to welcome our County Commissioner, Mr. Christian Langbeck, to join us at the podium.
Thank you very much. I want to recognize my colleagues, Commissioner Kevin Barnhart, Vice Chair of our board, and Commissioner Michael Rivera. I go back almost a year ago when I met John Loyak, and do you remember where we met? Outside El Marzuki's Queen City Restaurant, which needs to be reopened again. We were there serving in a mission that you started a number of years ago to serve the homeless a hot meal right before Thanksgiving. And because of COVID-19, Queen City is closed, and you're here. And I want to thank you, because that is exactly where John and I met, and we first really talked about CollegeTowne and the dream of CollegeTowne. So let's bring Queen City Restaurant back. We need them in the community, and we need people like Al-Sayed Al-Marzuki. We also live in an environment in the last number of years where colleges and universities have faced declining enrollment, have faced challenges of figuring out how they're going to grow in the new normal before we were even talking about COVID. And I will admit, having seen things over time, that when COVID hit and hit hard, I wondered what was going to happen to Alvernia University's CollegeTowne plan. Well, you've heard it already. Alvernia University has a record student population this year. Berks County is blessed with 5 colleges and universities, but this is the university that is here today in downtown Reading, at the heart of Berks County, making a major commitment, not just to continuing the education model that they've had, but going in a new direction with an engineering program, a program that partners with the real world, people like Peter Rye and Brentwood Industries, East Penn Manufacturing, Enersys, and a number of others. That is where there's real power in education, where we tie theory to reality. And that is going to happen right here in downtown Reading, here in Berks County, in a way that we've never seen it before. And I am proud to be able to stand here, actually I should say humble, to be able to stand here and see Dr. Ridley, who is going to be leading this program. John, the vision that you've brought, Peter, your leadership, the mayor, and my colleagues, we are here to do what we can to help see this not just come to fruition, but to become a beacon. You look at this logo, it is a light. There's a phrase from an old gospel song that says, "The darker the night, the brighter the light shines." And I will tell you, we're in some tough times right now, but this is a very bright light in the heart of Berks County and in the heart of the city of Reading. And we as county commissioners, Commissioner Barnhart, Commissioner Rivera, and I are glad that we can be part of it, and we're glad that Alvernia University is growing and growing right here in downtown Reading. God bless you.
That concludes our event today. Any media members who have any additional questions for our speakers, line up over here and we'll address those over there. Thank you all for coming out today and have a great day.